Hello, Libra. How are you? Welcome to the channel and to your reading, Libra. We are going to connect with your energies for these days. I remind you that these are general readings, so I'm going to ask you to take what resonates and applies to your situation. And also, if possible, consult your moon sign and your ascendant sign. You know that they complement the message of the main reading. I am going to start your reading with the message from the angels, a message of light, of inspiration, of a sign that the guardian angels bring for Libra. Well, a message of prosperity, a message also of communication and of transformation or transmutation. Well, the protector, this angel here, the guardian angel, what it does is guarantee you that your protection, as they say, your prosperity, is protected. And this is because what it's most likely trying to tell you is that success is already all but certain. In other words, the signs are letting you know that things are going to turn out well and that your victory is practically guaranteed. And this message may apply specifically to those of you who are Libras and are currently developing some kind of task or project. You might have faced certain discrepancies during the process, whether those occurred with your bosses, your managers, or your project partners, or perhaps you were the one acting as the boss or the person in charge, right? This message is definitely meant to reach out to you as well, so please take it to heart. Because it is next to what could be a very nourishing conversation and what can now be seen as something that makes you uncomfortable and that does not generate the result or the balance that you are waiting for regarding that issue, regarding that work, may soon give you a very enriching benefit. It is also guaranteeing us what could be that success that you are waiting for, which can come from what is a communication specifically regarding work. As a matter of fact, there is a specific astrological influence currently shifting in your favor, isn't there? It is intimately connected to everything we have discussed, and several different elements are finally beginning to find their proper balance within your life right now. Wouldn't you agree with that assessment? You are looking for financial balance, but you are also searching for a sense of stability within a particular relationship where you currently feel a significant imbalance, or perhaps a lingering disparity between where you stand and where this other person is positioned in your life right now. Or rather, you are thinking differently than that person, or vice versa, and you have not been able to agree on something, or for something, or how to carry out something, how to develop something. This situation is transforming, and it is transforming in a big way. And that transformation is inevitable because it tells me that the transformation makes it possible that that situation, which today may be causing you some discomfort, literally remains in the past. Rather, you get rid of that problem, you get rid of that discomfort, and that conversation takes place in the most harmonious way where something can be resolved. And not only do you manage to get back to work with the same harmony, or the harmony you are seeking, the balance, effectiveness, commitment, and responsibility a task requires, but also on a relational level, because it still has that implication. So it is not just about how you perform, but also about how you connect with others, and that matters just as much in the outcome. Also, the guardian angels protect you in every sense, and everything that you see that you have misadjusted at this moment, and for you has to do with an unease. They will be fixing it and will be giving you the best possibility for this to flow in a transformative way. That is why what makes you uncomfortable, what bothers you, what no longer makes sense, literally remains in the past and is transformed. For you, it will be a true challenge to feel liberated from this discomfort. Guardian angels are helping you to rise and free yourself from uncomfortable situations of the past. There is an end to this, or there is an end to a situation that automatically announces a renewing new beginning. New beginning that will allow Libra to access a different life, to a life where their prosperity is guaranteed, and to a life where an agreement with a person who matters to them is guaranteed. So here it is telling me to also think differently in order to live differently, because that also has a lot of weight, a lot of incidence for the result of all this, to think about the positive result that we want from this situation. This is a fresh start that also allows you to access what could be that balance between your ideas and those of someone else, or between shared projects, because there is an angel card present that protects your prosperity. You are being guided toward harmony and success in your personal connections. And you are represented as someone who can also occupy an important position, an important role to take charge responsibly of something. Or that someone is also in agreement to take charge of something regarding what could be a bond. Knight of Wands, energy of passion, of activation, and of movement, which also brings news related to love or to a decision. That's why the discomfort you may be going through over a person who was indecisive, who really did not seem to know what they wanted to do with this connection, is being left in the past now, right? That whole confusing energy is finally starting to fall away and stay behind you. And you are also deciding what to do regarding this, because let us not forget that the Lover's card speaks of a very important life decision where you are also giving quite a lot of importance to your value, to what you want for your life. If you understand that this person could obviously occupy a place in your life after this conversation, taking charge of something in a different way, you will be able to leave the differences that you have had in the past and give this person an opportunity. There's also another side to this, where Libra might be deep in thought, perhaps deciding that they simply do not deserve this treatment, that they truly want so much more out of life, and that they really crave something entirely different. Consequently, they reach a point where they must make a very significant and life-altering choice when it comes to the matters of their heart and their future. There is a perfect union that is destined for you, a perfect association also that comes from this place. That is why there is a negotiation. There is a desire, a very deep desire that connects Libra with another person where certain values are shared. So obviously everything that is decided here will be for your benefit, but it is you who has the last word. You are going to make very quick decisions on the fly anyway. You are also going to be open to receiving the remarks that you may have in this conversation, and you are going to, in some way, empathize with this person's points of view. You are surrounded by people who want to push forward with this project. If I am talking about that Libra who is in that situation of negotiation for a job or for what I told you previously, active people who want to move forward, who in some way also have that energy of helping you to negotiate to achieve this, who feel it also as something very much their own, right? Even if it is that person's intervention from a place of a worker and not a boss, and that it is you who is directing this situation. Now you have a very strong major card, which is the Arcanum of the Magician. It is telling us that you have the capacity to create something unique, to distinguish yourself for that and put it to work. That is to move to action, to create that reality that you want with the elements that life is now offering you. That is with the overcoming of issues of the past, with the harmony that arrives, with the relationships that are established, with the framework of the negotiations that you are going to establish according to this solution. You can definitely manifest something that becomes that outstanding job, that position you're also trying to win for yourself. And here, you're the one calling the shots, meaning you're the one who has the final word. You're the one in charge in this situation, the one with the power to decide how this ultimately moves forward. Because let us not forget that the magician also has power over words. So if it is a matter of convincing, you will know how to do it. If it is a matter of charming, also. If it is a matter of magnetizing, also. In other words, you can bring everything you need into your life for that to happen. But also, with what you already have, even if it is minimal, or that you understand that it is minimal, I can assure you that if you apply yourself to that, you will work magic and you will have great results. Your will, your creative will directs you to manifest your desires. So it is very powerful. You have the power of heaven in your hands. You have to work for this. There is a person who has decided to make a change as well, and it will obviously depend on you if you accept that person or not. But there's also a person who has decided to connect with your heart because there is someone there who is with the Lover's card, right? This is clearly speaking about a very special person entering your life. Perhaps, quite unexpectedly, this individual appears, and you begin to notice that they perfectly complement you in many of the ways you have been seeking. It is a unique connection, and you are starting to realize that they fulfill those qualities you truly desire in a partner. That is why you're also starting to notice that this person, who maybe at another time would not have caught your attention and would have passed unnoticed by you, has more in common with you than you ever could have imagined before. Because real blessings are being drawn out of that connection for both of you somehow in the process. In other words, you are taking advantage of what is different from what you aspired to. So I think that here you are using that lesson also, if we are talking about the lovers, to relate in a very balanced way with what you're going to offer the other person. In other words, values are being shared. Libra is sharing themselves, and that person is going to share themselves. And you are going to meet at a moment where you are going to be able to benefit a lot in the bond that you begin to build. Let us see what the guides tell us now. Well, you have to let go of what binds us, says the guide, and it has to do with excesses, and they are excesses of all kinds. This guide reflects the feeling of being trapped in circular situations. No, in loops. Very often, those loops are self-imposed, and they are what keep us from moving forward and sometimes from seeing things clearly. It speaks to those patterns that hold us back, making it harder to break free and find real clarity. For you, it will be a moment of reflection to see if they are your own chains that are limiting you or if they are external and you are giving them the power to intervene. That is why the Death card is here. Ultimately, you are letting go of all those excesses, limitations, or chains that once bound you. By freeing yourself from that weight, you can finally reach that state of true happiness and live a life of complete satisfaction. It is all about your own transformation. Because it tells me that you are confronting this. You are letting go of what binds you, and you begin to remember the power that you had given to that, right? The power that you had given to that situation that weakened you. In other words, you take it away. How did I give it power? You react. How did I give so much power to this issue? And that begins to fade, and you begin to rediscover your inner strength. Impressive reading, Libra. I ask you to trust and to decree, because this is coming for you.